work at Deloitte as well as Akka, and actually I'm working with Akka really closely together. But yeah, you can say whatever you want. So how did I get here? This is my story. It's short about how I landed to Switzerland. I started my journey in Finland, so we can see here I was born in Finland. There's some other things as well. And I studied computer science in Finland, and then I decided to do the Erasmus exchange studies in Germany. And then the most important, I met my husband. Yeah, that's how it comes if you are young and restless. So then I started like, what we could do, because I want to stay with him. So I decided that I would come back to Germany and finish my studies and did my master thesis and stayed actually in Germany and actually started my professional career also in Robert Bosch in Stuttgart, and close to Stuttgart. But don't speak in Sweden as well, I didn't like it. So this is London, I landed in Germany, but then, because my husband comes from very south, or let's say the south part of Germany, and very close to Swiss border, he thought it would be nice to go to Switzerland, so we decided, okay, let's apply and let's see what happens. And then I got the job from Accenture, good or bad, you can decide, and stayed 3 years there. And then I changed to Swiss company Finova and continued my key career to being in migration or data integration team. And then, at least, the latest stage was going to Deloitte last year, no, I don't know, 2012, I guess. So almost 2 years ago. And now I'm at Deloitte. I'm a manager and I'm leading data teams in many projects. So yeah, it's kind of IT related stuff what we are doing everyday business. So the next slide. I sent my summary and told people like what kind of problems I had, or let's say maybe not problems, but issues I had when I moved to Germany and when I moved to Switzerland, because there was sometimes some cultural differences or language problems, because at the beginning I was not that good in German, but now I'm quite fluent. So that was the one reason why I want to tell you how I did it and how I managed to get the position what I have now. So first thing for me was really important to get know better my colleagues, how they are the Germans really direct, how I should deal with the Swiss people, or how should I deal with other nationalities, and I try to adapt myself for that culture. Not only being the Finn and think like, okay, we always do it like this, it's the right way to do it. So I try to do it like, okay, in Germany it's better to do it that way, or in Switzerland it's maybe better to do it that way. So that was the most important point for me to learn that, okay, I need to adapt myself because I moved here and I need to do it. And then what I think myself it's important to learn the language. It was really important to see that if I wouldn't speak that good German, I wouldn't have so many possibilities to get a good project, because it was always the case at Accenture or Finova or even at Deloitte that because I speak German, I can get all the projects as well, but then we have some other foreigners and they can get only English-speaking projects. So for me it was really important to learn German. Of course, my German husband helped me a lot in this, and I'm paid in ass when I'm learning something, because I always like, what is this? You need to explain why I need to use the dative here, or why I need to use. But I learned, so it was. And then what I recognize as well, that in these kind of IT projects, I'm not saying that men are harder than women, but sometimes I recognize that the style how they are speaking each other, it's a bit different than the girls are speaking each other. And then at the beginning I felt sometimes like, oh my god, that hurt what you said to me. But then I learned like, hey, take it as it is, it's just, you know, work, and it's not my personal problem. So I learned it quite good way actually when I was at Finland, because I worked with the guys in the 50s. So it was a kind of good school for me, you know, like, oh my god. Yeah, I don't get anything for free, so it was a good one. And then the next point, I know it maybe sounds a little weird, but I tried to be a woman, you know, the smart woman, and not being like the guys. I didn't want to be like, okay, I'm Stefan, all the guys together, so I just tried to be like, okay, I can do it because I studied computer science, I know what I'm doing here, and I can use also my feminine side, but I still get in, you know, even if I'm not trying to be a man. So that was a good one for me. And then, okay, it's of course, they could say if they were not self-confident, but I thought, okay, I know what I can do and I know what I will learn, so that's not a problem to do something because I know that, you know, okay, and the last one that I was always really ambitious. I want to, you know, reach the second level. I want to come here even if it means maybe being without family, but for me it was important to get there because it was my goal. So, and the last one is never give up. So that's pretty much all what I want to say. There's a big question mark. So.
Did you and your husband find both job at the same time?
Yeah, pretty much the same time. My husband got the job maybe 2 months later, but I don't think it was the same time.
So you're lucky then?
Sorry?
So you're lucky?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, when we came to Switzerland, it was 2006. I guess it was a bit easier than now. I'm not sure, but yeah, we were lucky for sure.
Are you working in a male-dominated? So you've been to several companies?
Yes.
Working, usually working in male-dominated environments, or is it a balanced environment?
To be honest, now it's more or less in balance, because now I have even one girl in my team. But before I was always the only one. It doesn't matter what kind of project it was. I was always working in the banking sector or financial services. But all kind of these IT projects I worked for, it was always 10 guys and me. Doesn't matter what. And sometimes they even thought that I'm the secretary of my boss. And like, they asked me if I could bring the coffee. I said, no worries. But exactly, that's what I'm saying. That you still need to be self-conscious. Like, okay, I can bring you coffee. Don't worry. I can do something else. I know. But yeah, okay, otherwise I was always working home with the guys. And that's why I'm saying it, because sometimes it was hard, because, as I said, you don't get anything for free. You really need to fight like, hey, what the fuck, I'm here tomorrow.
Do you have to dress as, you're an extremely elegant person.
Yeah, to be honest, now sometimes I use even dresses, but when I was working only with guys at Accenture or Finova, and of course, Accenture we worked only for the clients, I never used actually a dress, because I didn't feel like comfortable when every time when I was with dress or skirt, like, wow, you look so elegant today, like, oh, nice. So I feel like, let's concentrate on that, you know, we are doing here, and so that's why I didn't produce. And maybe, I heard from my friends that after I get married, I use more dresses. I don't know why, but somehow. Sorry, you had one question.
Yeah, you mentioned the fact of like adapting to a new environment, also
Yeah.
when you move to a new country. Was it like conscious adapting or like almost unconscious? And then how it is when inside you get back to Finland? How do you feel? Like, do you feel like more German-like or?
That's a good question because, okay, sorry, please, but sometimes now, because I live more than 10 years already, sometimes I don't, of course I'm Finland, from head to toe, of course, no question. But sometimes, some matters, I don't feel anymore like, oh my God, how can I do that? So I guess I adapt myself like, what? Yeah, quite strongly, you know, like, okay, I'm not saying that I lose my identity, like, okay, I want to be Swiss or I want to, but somehow I feel like, okay, if I want to live here, I need to do that, because otherwise I'm not integrated to society and I will be like outside. And that's why I want to, oh, but happy.
Oh. No, I want to ask, what do you think were the biggest differences? What do you have to adapt, considering the Finnish way of working to German and Swiss?
Yeah, let's say, I would say there's also a difference between Germany and Switzerland. But okay, let's say when I worked a couple of years in Finland, the Finnish way is kind of direct. You know, you have a meeting, for example, and of course you have an explanation, a small one, but then the boss at the end is like, okay, we go there. Like, okay, we go there. And then, as you know, as a people, we speak more direct to each other. It's not that bad thing to say that, hey, come on, and just move it. But in Switzerland, for example, we always say, that was the one thing that I really have to learn, you know. Like, and because I'm anyway, I'm quite direct and really close, as you can see. So it was for me really like, slow down and take it and look how it comes, you know. But then in Germany, for me the problem in Germany was because in Finland everybody are like, boom. It's difficult to say you in English because you is you, but in Germany everyone's like Mr. and Professor, Doctor, Mr., Mrs. And that was really difficult to me because even in university I was like, hey, you can do something, and then my friends were like, you never can say the words. I was like, oh, sorry. And even you know, going to the doctor, I was like, oh, hey, Martin. And this is the most difficult because then I have to always think like, okay, Mr. Müller. So these are the differences.
You talked a little bit about the issue being the only woman in this male-dominated field. Is there something you do now to make sure that other women don't suffer the same things, or do you take care of promoting women as well? Yeah.
You can answer. No, I try to do that because I know how difficult. And the thing is that now, of course, at Deloitte we have more women than I had before in the companies. So, of course, I try to support, you know, for example, my team members and say like, hey, you are exactly as good as, you know, the guys. There is nothing, you know, that because you're the woman, you should be different. But of course, I try to support that.
The woman has to do it so leading, baby.
Yeah, that's true as well. That's why I couldn't say like, okay, I always say
You're
mommy's here.
And when you read in, there's always this issue that women on top, especially when women on top are in a male-dominated environment, some women like to be the only woman because you feel special. And then there is this issue that they like it so much they don't want the other women to be up there with them.
It's so gossips, you know, with the woman. With the guys. Hey, look at these shoes.
I'm always jealous about the shoes.
Exactly. And then I recognize when we went once, like, hey, have you seen the newest version of this or that software? Like, come on, guys, we're discussing about this topic every day. I know. That's why I was missing kind of women's talk. But as you said, it was you feel maybe a bit especially if you are with 25 guys, you know. Because I was in Geneva doing the project for World Economic Forum, and that IT environment was really like 30 guys and me, and that was really like special because, yeah, people get sometimes crazy if they drink alcohol.
And what's the essence of your job now in Deloitte? Is it more technical or is it more organizational? You mentioned earlier something about it.
Yeah, it's, let's say it's nowadays less technical, because I have a team to do the technical stuff, but of course I need to understand what the team is doing, because I need to, at the end I need to decide, oh, is this the right way, or...
But do you miss digging your hand into the...
sometimes I do it, and I like it sometimes to do some SQL scripts, and like, but to be honest, if you don't do it so much, you lose ability. And then I recognize sometimes, oh my god, like, easy sentence, like, what's that? I can't remember. And then it doesn't make sense. So my work is more like really managing the team and managing and having the client contacts. And
well, it's good to know the base, so...
yeah, of course, and it's also important because at the end I need to say, okay, no, this is bullshit.
I hope there is still time for a last question, but since you talk now about managing, and before we were saying about like a geek managing geeks, you probably have a lot of known geeks. You need to manage also known geeks people, and you come from a more technical background. How is this kind of experience?
Only non-geeks people. No, it's of course it depends on the project. Of course, sometimes you really like, how can I ask these kind of questions? They ask me like, how is that computer, for example? Or I can know some, some examples like that they never used Outlook before. Then you sometimes get like, okay, let's go slowly and of course it's, no, that was a stupid joke, but yeah, it's of course a bit different. You need to adapt your speech, but then that you don't just speak like you would speak with other technical people. You need to think about like, okay, they have no idea about this topic, so you need to put it in that way that they understand as well. Or I try to do. Maybe it's not always. Okay. Thank you very much.
You said you wanted to be, you aimed for being a smart woman rather than a smart man. What is the difference for you? Like, how do you become a smart woman?
No, I just wanted this point that, sometimes I have heard, or maybe I have met also women, when they are in the key positions, they try to be stronger than the guys. Like they need to be, the bad word, like an asshole. That's they have so many emotions because they need to get there, and they need to show that I'm all the guys together. So that's why I'm saying that I want to be, or try to be a smart woman, but I still want to have my emotions and be like I am, and not trying to be someone else, like some guy that maybe the guys, or these guys don't show their emotions, but I still want to be myself and be a woman, as it belongs to us to be a bit different than the guys.
And one question, who here is Swiss? Like, I think almost everybody's like foreigner, no?